Welcome to the Sad Crime Channel. Springfield, Illinois, August 29th, 1995. What started as an ordinary afternoon in a quiet suburban home would soon become the center of a shocking crime. That day, Mark Winger, a respected nuclear engineer, made a frantic 911 call claiming he had just shot a man in self-defense. His wife, Donnah Winger, lay lifeless on the floor, and a stranger, also dead, was nearby. To police, it seemed like an open and shut case, until, years later, chilling secrets would turn everything upside down. Let's start from the beginning. Donna Ellen Brown was born on the 10th of November 1963 in Florida and was the eldest of 3 sisters. She grew into a bright and beautiful woman, always putting others before herself. Donna was a devoted friend, loved by everyone who knew her. She worked as an operating room technician, and when she met Mark Winger, it seemed like they were made for each other. The two became inseparable and married in 1989. Shortly after the wedding, Mark, a nuclear engineer, secured a well-paid job in Illinois. The couple left Florida behind and moved north to the quiet town of Springfield, where Donna soon found work at a local hospital. Donna and Mark appeared to be the perfect couple, both successful in their careers and owners of a beautiful home in a peaceful neighborhood. But there was one thing missing from their happiness: the child they had always longed for. Despite their best efforts, Donna struggled to conceive. When doctors confirmed that she would never be able to have children, the couple was devastated. But in 1995, fate seemed to intervene. At the hospital where Donna worked, a young woman gave birth to a baby girl. Unable to raise the child herself, she was looking for a family to adopt her. Donna and Mark seized the opportunity and welcomed the little girl into their home. In June 1995, 6 years after their wedding, Donna and Mark finally became parents. They named their daughter Bailey Elizabeth Winger. Donna, Mark, and their loved ones were overjoyed by the newest addition to their family. Before long, however, Donna had to return to work. To help care for baby Bailey, she relied on her family and her closest friend, Deanne Schultz, a colleague from the hospital with whom she had formed a deep bond. In August 1995, Donna took Bailey to Florida to visit her family. When she returned, she hired a driver to collect them from the airport and take them home to Springfield. The driver was 27-year-old Roger Harrington. The 2-hour journey was filled with unsettling conversations and erratic behavior. Roger spoke about having multiple personalities and hearing voices urging him to commit violent acts. He boasted about wild sex parties he had attended and even invited Donna to join him one day. Donna was frightened and deeply uncomfortable, but she made it home safely. As soon as Mark returned from work, Donna told him about the disturbing encounter. Furious, Mark filed a complaint with the transport company that had employed Roger. As a result, Roger Harrington was suspended from duty. Mark then asked Donna to write down everything that had happened, documenting exactly what the driver had said during the journey. Over the next week, Donna began receiving unsettling phone calls from an unknown caller. Mark suspected that Roger Harrington was behind them. Donna confided in her family, admitting that she feared for her safety. Then, on the 29th of August 1995, Mark Winger made a frantic call to 911.
911 emergency, what's emergency?
Help me! My God, my wife's breathing.
Okay, you need an ambulance?
I need everything! I need everything!
Springfield Police.
Yes, help me.
What's the problem?
I just shot this man in my house.
He's inside your house
Killed
right
my
now?
wife. He beat my wife.
Is he in there right now?
Yes, sir.
Does he have a gun?
Her brains are everywhere.
Where's the man at?
He's laying on the floor.
Is he dead?
I don't know. He's making weird sounds.
Sir.
20,
Sir.
20.
Sir, slow down. I can't understand you. Slow down. Is the man still in your house?
Yes, he's laying there on the floor with a bullet in his head.
Did you shoot him?
Yes, I shot him. He was killing my wife. Please, my baby's crying. My baby's crying. I gotta go. I'll call you right back. Hello?
Winger?
Yes, yes.
This is the police department. We've got officers en route. I need to know what's going on there.
My wife is dying on the floor.
Okay, is she still alive?
I think so.
Okay, we've got ambulance en route and we've got police officers en route. Where is the gun?
I left it on the table. It's on the table. It's on the table. Please,
Okay.
God, please come here.
We've got people on the way.
Okay.
Who is this man?
I don't know who he is.
He's still inside the house?
Yes, he's laying on the floor. Okay,
You
I
don't-
gotta hold my wife. I gotta get to my wife.
Okay, are you Mark Winger?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Okay, and your wife is Donna?
Yes, she is.
When did the man come there?
I know, a few minutes ago. Wait, I gotta get to my wife. Please, just let me get to my wife. I won't hang up. Okay?
Okay, we've got officers en route.
Okay, my door's open.
Okay.
Okay.
When police arrived at the Winger home, they found Donna lying on the floor. She was already dead. Beside Donna's body lay a hammer. As later determined, she had been struck at least 7 times with great force to the head. Not far from Donna's lifeless body was 27-year-old Roger Harrington. He had sustained 2 gunshot wounds to the head. After taking 3 quick Polaroid photographs, paramedics transported Roger to the hospital, where he was later pronounced dead. Mark Winger told police that he had been using the treadmill downstairs when he heard strange noises. Rushing upstairs, he found baby Bailey lying alone on the bed. Immediately, he knew something was wrong. Donna would never have left their daughter unattended. He ran towards the dining room, where he saw a man attacking his wife with a hammer. Mark fired a shot at the man's head. According to his account, the intruder was still making noises, so he fired a second time before calling 911. Mark claimed he had no idea who the man was until police identified him as Roger Harrington, the driver Donna had complained about. Mark then explained that Roger had been harassing his wife and showed officers Donna's written account of her unsettling journey with Roger. The hammer used in the attack belonged to the Winger family. Mark told investigators that Donna had taken it out earlier that day to remind him to hang some pictures. The gun Mark had used to shoot the intruder was found resting on the table. Also on the table were a packet of cigarettes and a thermal coffee mug, both belonging to Roger Harrington. His car was parked outside the Winger home. Police were already familiar with Roger Harrington. They knew he had a history of violent tendencies and struggled with mental illness. The crime scene seemed to confirm Mark Winger's account. Within 48 hours, the case was closed. Roger was declared the perpetrator of Donna's murder, and Mark was cleared of any wrongdoing. Authorities ruled that he had acted in self-defense. With the investigation shut down, Mark was hailed as a local hero. Donna's brutal death was a devastating shock to everyone who knew her. Her family rallied around Mark, offering him all the support they could. From their home in Florida, they took turns traveling to Springfield, helping him care for baby Bailey. For the first few months after Donna's death, Mark was never alone, but Donna's family began noticing changes in his behavior. Mark started drinking more and frequently going out to bars. They assumed this was simply his way of coping with the trauma he had endured. One family member even observed that Mark had taken an unusual interest in watching violent, graphic films. An odd choice, considering what he had just been through. 4 months after Donna's death, Mark's family persuaded him to hire a nanny. Mark agreed that it was a good idea, and soon after, he hired Rebecca Simic. Though it was difficult for Donna's family to see another woman caring for Bailey, they were relieved to know she was in good hands. Rebecca was warm and nurturing, and it was clear that she truly cared for the little girl. Knowing what Mark had been through, Rebecca wanted to help in any way she could. Sarah, Donna's mother, described Rebecca as a wonderful, kind-hearted person and felt reassured that Mark and Bailey would have someone looking after them. 2 months after Rebecca started working as a nanny, she discovered she was pregnant. Mark and Rebecca were expecting a child. Mark said he felt that Rebecca had been sent by his late wife to help him rebuild his life. Donna's family was deeply surprised by this news, but they continued to support Mark and refrained from commenting on the situation. The only person who disliked Rebecca and could not accept this turn of events was Donna's best friend, Deanne Schultz. Deanne was highly suspicious of Rebecca and believed she had entered a relationship with Mark far too quickly. Mark explained to Rebecca that Deanne was struggling to come to terms with Donna's death, which made it difficult for her to accept a new partner in his life. After Donna's death, Mark received $150,000 from her life insurance policy. Additionally, he applied for financial assistance for crime victims and was granted another $25,000, the maximum amount available. Everyone sympathized with Mark and did their best to support him. Even at work, Mark received a promotion to a higher position. 5 months after his wife's death, Mark Winger stopped by the police station and asked for the return of the gun he had used to kill the intruder. To the police, it seemed rather odd that Mark wanted back the very weapon that served as a grim reminder of the traumatic event. While retrieving the gun, Mark asked the detective about the case's status, whether it was truly closed or if they were still investigating. Detective Charlie Cox confirmed that the case was closed, but later admitted that he had a strange feeling during his conversation with Mark. 14 months after Donna's death, in October 1996, Mark married Rebecca. Donna's family could not believe how quickly Mark had remarried and started a new family. The couple soon sold the house Mark had once shared with Donna and moved to the countryside. Rebecca officially adopted Bailey, and together they went on to have 3 children of their own. Rebecca described Mark as a wonderful husband and a devoted father. He was loving, caring, and trustworthy. Rebecca focused on raising their children as Mark earned enough to support the entire family. Over time, Mark began to distance himself from Donna's family, who wished to remain in contact for Bailey's sake. During a visit, Sarah, Donna's mother, gave her granddaughter a locket containing a picture of her mother. Mark became furious and immediately ordered Bailey to remove it. When Sarah returned home to Florida, she received a letter from Mark in which he stated that he did not want Bailey to call her grandma. Sarah begged Mark to reconsider, but he refused and cut off all contact. Donna's family continued to send birthday cards for Bailey, but for years they never saw her again. Mark and Rebecca's life seemed to be going well. Together, they had built a happy, loving family, until everything changed. 4 years after Donna's death, Deanne Schultz went to the police. Deanne told detectives that she had been having an affair with Mark Winger at the time of his wife's death. She stated that Mark had repeatedly told her it would be better if Donna were dead so that they could be together. As if that wasn't shocking enough, she revealed that Mark had even tried to persuade her to help him kill Donna, though he wasn't sure how to go about it. The incident with the taxi driver created the perfect circumstances to put his plan into action. Roger was an ideal scapegoat for a staged murder. Deanne testified that Mark had told her he needed to lure Roger to their home. She was entirely convinced that Mark had murdered Donna. She added that the guilt of keeping this secret had taken a severe toll on her mental and emotional well-being. She tried to take her own life many times. Since Donna's death, Deanne had struggled with the burden of the truth and finally decided to come forward. As a result of her testimony, authorities reopened the case and uncovered shocking clues that had previously gone unnoticed. When experts revisited the case files, they discovered 3 Polaroid photographs taken just before Roger was transported to the hospital. photos that had been overlooked until then. These images revealed a major inconsistency. Roger's body was lying on its back and at an angle inconsistent with Mark's description of events. Based on the way he had fallen, it would have been impossible for Roger to have been attacking Donnah at the moment he was shot. Moreover, Roger, the supposed assailant, had none of Donnah's blood on him, which was highly unlikely given the brutal nature of the attack. In Roger Harrington's vehicle, investigators found a note with Mark's name, the time, and the Winger family's address, suggesting he had written himself a reminder of a scheduled visit. Additionally, several weapons were discovered in Harrington's car. If he had intended to kill Donnah, he would likely have taken one of those weapons with him, rather than relying on finding a hammer inside a house he had never been in before. Further evidence included a pack of cigarettes and a travel coffee mug belonging to Roger, left on the Winger's table, items hardly indicative of someone arriving with the intent to commit murder. Investigators also reviewed phone records from the day of the murder, which revealed that Mark Winger had called the taxi company earlier that day, specifically requesting Roger Harrington. Authorities now suspected that Mark had lured Roger to his home that day under false pretenses and then murdered him. During the reinvestigation, police located a neighbour who recalled hearing gunshots on that day. She reported that the two shots were at least 5 minutes apart. Police then re-examined Mark's emergency call to the dispatcher. On the recording, Mark clearly stated that the attacker had a single gunshot wound to the head, not two. When listening closely to the call, investigators could hear a man groaning in the background. Mark claimed it was his baby, crying, and that he needed to tend to the child, but there was no sound of a crying baby. Mark had put the phone down upon realizing that Roger was still alive. He then fired a second shot before calling the police again. Mark Winger was now officially a suspect in the murder of his wife. No evidence linked Deanne to the crime. During the trial, prosecutors argued that Mark had lured Roger to the house, likely under the guise of resolving the dispute that had cost Roger his job. When Roger entered, Mark shot him in the head. Hearing the gunshot, Donnah came into the room, at which point Mark attacked her with a hammer. He then called 911, but, realizing Roger was still alive, put the phone down and shot him again before resuming his call. Throughout the trial, Mark Winger maintained his innocence and stuck to his original version of events, that Roger had murdered Donnah. On May 5, 2002, after 13 hours of deliberation, the jury found Mark Winger guilty of the murders of Roger Harrington and Donnah Winger. Mark was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Court records and testimony suggest that Mark's motive was driven by a desire to free himself from his marriage and pave the way for his own personal and financial interests. Notably, evidence revealed that during his extramarital affair, he allegedly remarked to his partner that it would be easier if Donnah just died. This chilling statement, along with his rapid remarriage and efforts to frame another man for the crime, points to a motive rooted in both personal ambition and potential financial gain, such as life insurance proceeds. While some aspects remain contested, the prevailing narrative is that Winger sought to eliminate his wife to escape marital obligations and secure a fresh start under his own terms. Rebecca Winger raised all 4 children alone and changed their surname to Simic. Bailey, the adopted daughter, remains in close contact with Donnah's family. Mark's biological children have no relationship with him. But this was not the end of the story. In 2006, Mark stood trial again. This time, from prison, he had attempted to hire a hitman to kill Deanne Schultz, whom he blamed for his conviction. He had also planned the murder of a former friend who had refused to post his bail before his conviction. As a result, the court added another 35 years to his life sentence. To this day, Mark denies all allegations and claims he is innocent. Mark is currently incarcerated at the Western Illinois Correctional Center. Roger Harrington's family has always maintained that he was set up by Mark Winger. They firmly reject the portrayal of Roger as a violent criminal, instead believing his death was the result of a calculated cover-up. In particular, his mother, Helen, expressed deep heartbreak and disbelief over how the community came to view her son as a killer. For the family, this isn't just a case of mistaken identity, it's a profound injustice that has haunted them ever since. Donnah was a devoted wife, a loving mother, and a gentle soul whose warmth and kindness touched everyone who knew her. She held dreams for her family and cherished every moment of life, leaving behind memories of laughter, love, and the quiet strength of a compassionate heart. Roger was a dedicated individual, known for his gentle nature and the care he brought into his work. His friendly demeanor and quiet strength made him a cherished presence among those who knew him. Even in the face of a tragic fate, his life reminds us of the importance of kindness and the value of every human story. Though the circumstances surrounding their loss remain shrouded in controversy and heartache, what endures is the legacy of who they were, their hopes, their passions, and the love they shared with family and friends. Their memories continue to inspire those who believe in seeking truth and justice, and they serve as a powerful reminder that behind every headline there are real lives, deep connections, and stories of love that can never be forgotten. Today, we honor Donnah and Roger by remembering the light they brought into the world. May their memories live on in our hearts, and may we always strive to honor their legacy by cherishing every moment with those we love. Rest in peace.